Hey guys, Zaman
and Christina
from Our Rich Journey. Today we are answering a question that we get often, and it is, how do I save more money for financial independence when I don't have a lot of money already? Now, there is this perception that in order to save 70% of your income like Christina and I did on our journey towards financial independence, you need to be making a six-figure income. Well, that is not the case. It is really about the existing money that you have and how you go about prioritizing spending that money. So in today's video, what we want to talk about are different ways that you can save more money in order to achieve the ultimate goal of financial independence and retiring early.
So we really believe that financial independence is for everyone, even if you are on a low income, because financial independence is based off of your own expenses, not the expenses of a millionaire or a billionaire. You design your own annual expenses, and reaching financial independence is based off of that. Now, in order to actually reach financial independence, there's three things that everyone has to focus on. It's about making more money, saving more money, and investing that money that you make and save. So in this video, we are going to focus on that saving component. We're talking about how you can save even if you feel like you don't have a lot of money to save. Now, before we get started, if you are new to our channel is all about making money, saving money, and investing money on the road to financial independence. Aman and I pursued financial independence for 8 years. We reached that goal and we quit our jobs before the age of 40. So if you are interested in learning more ways about how to make, save, and invest money to reach financial independence, make sure you subscribe to our channel and follow us on Instagram.
So the first thing you should do if you really want to save more money is calculate your savings rate. If you don't know your savings rate, you have no idea where you stand on your journey towards financial independence, but you have no idea where your money is really going. So when you calculate your savings rate, you are identifying how much money you are saving as a percent of your income. And we'll break this down in a little more detail.
So to calculate your savings rate, you divide your monthly savings amount by your monthly net income. So we'll give you an example. So let's say your monthly income is $2,000 a month, and from that $2,000 a month, every single month you save $200 and you put it into, let's say, your 401k plan. That means your savings rate is 10%.
Now, this particular example may actually surprise a lot of people because making an investment in your 401k doesn't necessarily pop up in someone's mind as a savings. But when we define savings rate, it is anything that is contributing to your net worth and maybe contributing to your overall FIRE number. So if you are investing money in the stock market, through your 401k, through a traditional IRA, through an HSA, that is considered saving. If you are paying down the principal on your primary residence, that is considered saving. Anything that is adding to your net worth, even putting money in a regular old savings account, of course, that is saving. So when you take all of those contributions, all of that money that you're socking away, use that to calculate your savings rate. So once you've calculated your current savings rate, the next thing is to identify where you want your savings rate to be. This should be your ultimate goal for saving money. Now, Christina and I, when we were on our journey, we saved 70% of our income, but we didn't do that overnight. It took baby steps to get to that level of saving 70%.
So here's the thing, you may look at your savings rate right now and find that it's really low and you may be discouraged by that, but that is actually not the point. The point is to find out what your savings rate is and set a goal to get better and better. Just set a goal to get 1% better every single month. The idea is you can start off small. You don't have to reach a 70% savings rate overnight, because when you start off small, you start triggering that savings muscle that you have, where you're saving every single month and you're getting used to it, that it becomes almost automatic. That is the goal. Develop your savings rate goal and try to get 1% better each month.
So before we move on to our next tips, we are going to put in a caveat for this video right now. The big ticket items like saving on food, transportation, housing, We've talked about how to save big bucks in previous videos, so we're not actually going to talk about ways to save money in those areas. We're going to leave a link in the description below to videos that talk in way more detail about that. But in this video, we are going to share some other creative ways that you can save money towards financial independence. So here's our next tip. Take advantage of the free money that is floating out there in the world. And what we're talking about are the different programs and services that may be in your community that assist people that have a lower income. So if you need money for a new home, down payment assistance. If you need money to subsidize your childcare assistance. There are so many different programs within your own community that are out there that are there to help people that are in a lower income, that are in a lower income bracket.
So I'll give you an example. If you have ever heard of this account, it's called an individual development account. There's more than 250 of these types of accounts in the United States. So these accounts are designed to help lower income people save for things like education, the purchase of a first home, or to even start a business. So when you put your money into these types of accounts, it is matched. And many times it's dollar to dollar, meaning that you put $1 of savings into this account and it's matched with another dollar. And it's matched by different government agencies, nonprofits, and even private corporations. So in order to qualify for this type of account, you have to make less than 200% of the federal poverty level. So for a family of 4, that's less than $53,000 a year. You also have to have a current job in order to qualify for this type of account.
So this is an example of many different programs that are out there. But this particular program, for every dollar that you put in, you get that dollar matched. That is 100% return on your investment. And see, we love identifying programs like this and sharing them with people because lots of people don't realize that they qualify for these types of programs. I mean, a family of 4 that is making $53,000 a year may not think they qualify for a program like this. What we're saying is do your research. See what opportunities are in your community, what programs that are there to support you.
So like we said, there are over 250 of these programs in the United States. If you qualify for them, definitely check them out. They're called individual development accounts or IDAs.
Our next tip is to trade a skill for a product or a service that you routinely use. And I love this particular strategy because if you are able to use a skill that you already have to reduce an expense by trading that skill for that expense, that is a great way to save money.
So I'll give you a couple of ideas. Let's say you're really great at website design and social media marketing or campaigning. And let's also say that you have kids that you take to a daycare and you pay for this daycare every single month, but you notice that the daycare has a website that's not so great and their social media campaigns are pretty terrible. This is a great service that you could provide to the daycare, updating their website, managing their social media campaigns in exchange for either free or reduced daycare. Another example, and I'll use kids again because we specifically have done this. If you have kids that are involved in sports, you'll know that sports can be very, very costly. But a lot of times, if you volunteer as a coach for your kids' sports team, your kids can participate in that sport for free. Now, I've been a swim coach for Malia, and Aman has been a basketball coach for Sanoa, and that allowed us to save a lot of money.
Our next tip is to stop paying for convenience. When we run into people that say they don't have enough money to save for fire, the first thing we look at is their budget. And we will see inflated costs in their budget for things that are really conveniences in life. And I'll give you an example of what I mean by convenience. Most people don't even realize that they're doing this, but you're probably overspending on food because you haven't planned your meals out for the week. Oftentimes, out of pure convenience, people will be in a rush and they will eat out. You see, it's things like this that add up that reduce the amount of money that you have available to invest for financial independence. Another example of convenience spending is when you pay for next day delivery for things. Why can't you wait a couple more days and pay a lower fee? I know it may seem like not a lot of money, but if you are consistently paying for these types of conveniences, it means there is a deeper problem. You are failing to be a better planner. And when you plan things out with a little bit more foresight, you can save a lot of money.
Our next tip is to make YouTube your very, very, very best friend.
Oh, YouTube is my best friend.
Go to YouTube to learn things. Learn how to DIY things so that you don't have to pay someone else to do those things for you. There is so much information on YouTube. You can learn how to do repairs in your house. You can learn how to do maintenance on your car. I once had a broken taillight in the back of my car, and I paid a lot of money to get that taillight fixed. If only I would have went to YouTube and realized how simple it is to get that fixed, I could have done it myself.
And it's not just the maintenance things that you can learn how to save money on with YouTube. If you are throwing a birthday party, if you are planning a vacation, if you are going out on a date night, anything that you are spending money on, go to YouTube, type it in, plus save money on that thing, and you will learn how to save money. Our next tip is to use cash instead of credit cards. You see, the problem with credit cards is you don't actually see that money until some of you get your statement. But if you are using cash is a better way to gauge how you are spending money. And you may find that you've taken out $100 that week and that $100 is gone within a couple of days. You are probably spending too much money if you planned only to spend $100 that week.
So there is a mentality behind how you think when you're spending cash versus how you purchase things when you use a credit card. When you use cash and you see that money start to dwindle away, you begin to get more intentional about your spending. You tend to spend less. And that is a great way, if you're focused on cash and saving money, that's a great way to be able to save more money.
Our next tip has to deal with taxes. And for those people out there that are getting a huge tax return at the end of the year, unfortunately, you are doing something wrong. You should be trying to minimize the amount of money that you get as a tax return. Because if that return is so big, that means that you are loaning the government money that you could be saving or investing into an account that is actually making you money. You see, the idea about getting a big tax return, it really is not a great thing. And I'm sorry to say this because I know so many people get excited about their tax returns. But in reality, you are wasting the opportunity cost of being able to invest that money and have it grow for you. The other problem with getting a big tax return is that most people spend their tax returns like it's a bonus. So let's say you get a $2,000 tax return at the end of the year. Unfortunately, most people go out and spend that whole $2,000 because they have this YOLO attitude. They look like that money was somehow free money. That is your money, and you should be investing that money.
So the best way to handle this type of problem is to simply change your tax withholdings so that you don't have this huge return at the end of the tax year.
And our last tip is to organize and minimize the things in your life. And what we're talking about is organize your home and minimize the amount of things you have in your home. Organize your bills, but also minimize the amount of bills that you have. You see, if you organize and you have a minimalist life, you will condition yourself to prioritize the things that are the most important in your life. You will find that everything around you has to serve a purpose, and you will only spend money on things that meet that purpose. And for us, this was a tremendous change that we made in our lives. Once we started organizing our finances and minimizing the amount of clutter we had in our lives, it gave us the ability not only to save money, but also to think of more ways to make money. So after you've done all of this saving, your next goal is to turn to making more money. And that's what we want to leave you with in this video. On your journey towards financial independence, it's great to save money, but you can only save so much. You have to turn that make money switch on later. But that's a video for another day. If you've liked this video, please give it a thumbs up, subscribe to our channel, and join the journey.